All right, so like I said, we are combining 17 and 18. So now, guys, what we have is we actually have some bigger numbers that we are going to be dividing. So right now, I want you guys to take a look at number 1. And number 1, well, actually, sorry, 4, but it's J because it kind of continued on for me when I created this in my Word document, is that I have 5,738 divided by 21. We are always going to make sure that we actually are going to estimate the divisor first, just so that then I can base this number off of how I need to estimate it. We noticed that on one of the other ones on the other side that we probably want to continue working on that and thinking about that when we do this. So they rounded 21 to 20, 5,738. That was pretty easy to round it to 6,000. So we did 1,000 divided by a 10, so we had 600 left. So 600 divided by 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then it was 100, so 300. So I'm going to round this to 30 because 28 would be rounded to 30. And there's actually a couple different things I could do. But I'm going to, I don't know why, but I just want to make it easy on myself, is I'm just going to keep that and round it to 3,000. Okay, so 3,000 divided by 30, 1,000 divided by a 10 would be 100. So then I've got 300 divided by 3. Well, 3 divided by 3 is 1, but then I've got 100, so my estimation is 100. I'm going to round 34 to 30, and I'm just going to round this to 9,000 because I know that 9 divided by 3 can go nicely. 1,000 divided by 10 is going to give me 100, so there's my 900 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and it's 100. Okay. I'm going to round this 53 to 50. Now, this is the reason why I wanted to do this, because some of you guys will be like, oh, just round it to 10. But why couldn't I just round it to 1,500? Okay, so I can then do 1,000 divided by 10 is going to give me 100. Guys, even though I have 150, I still have that 100. So now I can do 15 divided by 5 is 3, and because it is a 10, it is 30. Okay. Even though it was 150, I had 15 tens. So 15 tens divided by 5 is 30, or 3 tens. 64, I'm going to round that to 60. And you know what? 2,525, I know that 24 is going to be a multiple, so I'm going to do 2,400. I'm going to do 1,000 divided by 10, which is going to give me 100. So there's my 100 there, 240, or 24 tens. 24 divided by 6 is going to be 4, and then I've got a 10 or 1 0. Okay, I'm going to round this to 70. I know that a multiple of 7 would be 21, so 2,271. I'm actually going to round that to 2,100. I'm going to do 1,000 divided by a 10, which is going to be 100, which is 210, which is 21 tens. 21 divided by 7 is 3, and then I've got a 10 or 1 0. All right, 4,901 divided by 75. Yeah, I could honestly go kind of either way with this. I could round it to 70, I could round it to 80. I'm going to round it to 70. All right. You could do 80 or you could do 70. That's kind of the fun of it, is that we can do a couple different things. I know, honestly, and maybe we should just do this because the rounding rule does say 80, we can go up to 80. So I know that a multiple of 80 is 48. So it's going to be 4,800 is what's going to be really close. 1,000 divided by 10 is going to give me 100. So 48 divided by 8 is going to give me 6. And then I have a 10, which is a 0. All righty. Last one, or not last one, 2 more moving on. I'm going to take this 81, turn it to an 80. And I know, let's see here, 8,500, 815. Well, that's, to me, I honestly would just round that to 8,000. Okay, I know it kind of goes a little bit against that rounding rule because it should go up to 9, but you know what? I don't think that if I would take it up anywhere in that 80s or into a 90s, would it be something that would be pretty simple to divide. So I'm going to do 1,000 divided by a 10, which is going to give me 100. So now I've got 800 divided by 8, which I know 8 divided by 8 is 1, and I've got 100. So the answer is 100. Last one on this chart, I've got 8,515 divided by 89. I'm going to round that to 90. And I know that a factor of 9 is going to be 81. So I'm going to round that to 8,100. I can do 1,000 divided by 10, which is going to give me 100. I've got 810 divided by 9. So 81 divided by 9 is 9. And then I've got a 10. The answer is 90. Okay. A swimming pool requires 672 square foot of floor space. The length is 32 feet. It wants me to estimate the length. So guys, here's what I have. I know that the swimming pool requires 672 square foot of floor. I know that the length is 32. I need to figure out what this is going to be. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take that 672 and divide it by 32, but I'm going to round because I'm only estimating. And I first want to estimate this, and I'm going to estimate that at 3 or 30. And you know what? Quite honestly, guys, 600 is a nice round number to be able to divide that by 3. I could do 660 if I wanted to, but I'm just going to go ahead and round that to the nearest 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 100 divided by a 10, which is going to give me a 10. 60 divided by 3, or 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then I've got a 10. It's 20. So the width would be 20 feet. All right. Janice bought 28 apps for her phone that altogether she used 1,348 megabytes of space. If each app used the same amount of space, about how many megabytes of memory did each app use? So we're only going to estimate. So I know that if I had 1,348 and I had to split it between 28 apps, I want to estimate that. I'm going to start off with this. I'm going to estimate this to 30. And when I look at this, if I have 3, I'm kind of figuring I could actually do 2 different numbers. I'm going to go ahead and go to the closest one, which is 12. So it's going to be 1,200. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do 100 divided by 10, which gives me 100. So I have 120 divided by 3, or 12 divided by 3 is 4. And then I have that 10 is 40 megabytes would be each app. Okay, so that's my estimation. If half of the apps were free and the other half were $1.99, about how much would she spend? So here's the thing. What I need to do is I need to figure out half of her apps. So if she has 28 divided by 2, half of them are free, half of them she has to pay for. Well, I do actually probably need to figure out how many are the half. And so I know that that equals 14. 28 divided by 2, 2 goes into 2 one time, minus 2, bring down my 8, 2 goes into 8 4 times, so it is 14. Okay, that's how I got that 14. So if I know that each one was about $1.99, excuse me, and I bought, and I had 14 of them, I want to estimate about how much money do you think she'd spend? Well, here's my thing. This $1.99, that's really close to $2. And if she had 14, I don't necessarily need to round this because I can say that she spent about $28 per app.